Good morning. Your friend Velma Hagar. Here's looking at you, kid. One of the things I want to say, once you made a toast with someone, never set your drink down until you take a sip. So here's looking at you, kid. Italian roast, 1 spoon of raw sugar, and a little cream. Nothing like it. Okay, I have something really sweet to share today. You know, I know most of you know that our dad was a professional boxer. And, you know, we often felt like we were cheated because our dad was a chronic alcoholic, and he definitely had brain damage from boxing. And so he didn't really leave us. We didn't think he left us much of a legacy. We were raised on my mother's Italian side. She was full-blooded Italian. My dad was Irish, full-blooded Irish. The fighting Irishman, you know, don't you love it? But anyway, hey Google, turn down the volume. Shut up, Google. If I say, hey Google, shut up, it turns it off. He knows to do that. Okay, so as I grew older, one of the things I realized was my dad left an incredible legacy, incredible. It was true that we missed out on having a daddy that we could do things with and be close to. I was not close to my father at all. But the thing I want to say here, there's something that he left that was so powerful. And I think many of you know, he was a professional boxer, and he to this day holds the record for being knocked down the most times in a professional fight and getting back up again. No one will ever beat him because now they stop the fight if they get knocked down that many times. But the point is this: what perseverance, what grit, what determination that man had. My God. I mean, and the story goes that he was a bantamweight. He was a small weight fighter. And in those days, they didn't have the rules in the ring like they have today. And so he was gonna fight that night, and he did fight, and he won. And then the main event, which was a heavier fighter, one of the guys couldn't make it, so they offered my dad what was in those days a lot of money to fight this guy just because the crowds were there. He did it. So I don't think he expected to win. He just expected to give the crowds their money's worth. And so he kept getting up. Every time they knocked him down, he kept getting up. Now, I want to say this. I have real mixed emotions when I talk about this, because on one hand, he got his brains knocked out, literally. When he got up, they said the next day he wasn't even like himself anymore. You know, it makes me want to cry when I even think of it, because I know my dad was a good man. But the good part of this is, what a wonderful legacy he left. And you've seen that legacy come to pass in my brother, Sammy Hagar. He had that same get back up again. And so did I. You know what? I started out in a little business on El Paseo. I was a single mom. I had no child support, and I've got a second on my house in order to even be able to do the shoe store. I had no working capital, and I opened a shoe store. Anybody with any brains would have stopped years ago, because that sucker, let me tell you, for 10 years, I mean, it was not making it. It just didn't make it, but I kept getting back up until, hey, Nala, you come here. I mean, Guido, I called him Nala. No wonder he didn't answer. Guido, come here, baby. Come here and see me. Come see our friends on video. You know, when I put Guido up here, I get twice as many views. That goes to show you they're not looking at me, they're looking at Guido. I like it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? Look at him back there in his bed. Can you see him back there? He's got a bed in the entryway, and he gets in that bed. I wanted him to come over here, but no, he wasn't gonna come today. Back to the story. So my shoe store, for 10 years, I'm telling you guys, I don't think it ever made any money. I just used to push money around, and I was good at that. I was good at, you know, making it look like I was doing all right. And so I thank God for that gift that my dad left. I mean, all of us, there were 4 children, all of us, we just kept getting up again. We weren't quitters. We were never quitters. We were like him in that way. And so, you know, I always thought it was my mother, and I do give my mother, oh my gosh, we had the best mother in the world. Everything our dad lacked, my mother made up for. But mother didn't have that tenacity that my dad did. You know, I mean, he was like, nothing stopped him. He just put his head down and he went for it. And he finished that fight. He didn't get knocked out, which probably would have been a blessing if he would have, because then he would have stopped. But I wanted to share that with you today, that when you're, you know, life is full of hurdles. Some of the hurdles you're not going to make it over without falling. Some of them you're going to actually hit the ground. But doggone it, get back up and get back in the race. Get back up and keep running. God says to run your race as if to win. And so, you know, when you're in a race, if you fall down, you get up. Maybe you pass some guys up. Maybe you won't, but you'll at least finish the race. And you'll finish it with dignity. You won't be a quitter. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. And that isn't scriptural, but it is really, you know, it's not a scripture, but it really is. God says to run as if to win. And, you know, I really want to say, whatever's going on in your life right now that you want to quit, get your butt up, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and get out there and start running again. You can do this. You can do this. Now, there's a fine line. There are times that God will stop something that's going on. There is. I do believe that. He'll close doors. If doors are closed, open another door and keep running. Go through that one. But don't stop. Don't curl up in a ball and say, I can't do this. Of course you can do it. So all that today to tell you, my daddy left an impression after all. A good impression, I should say. He left an impression, all right. It was not good. Buy my book. Hidden Treasures in Secret Places on Amazon. It's so good. And you know, I've really been selling a lot of them. I'm pretty proud of them. All right, with that said, I'm getting my coffee. I'm gonna get my Guido over here, love on him a little, and then I'm gonna go do some acupuncture today. Okay, you guys. Big blessings. Here's looking at you. And remember, don't quit. Get back up and run that race as if to win. Bye.